Hey guys, I just wanted to follow up from yesterday's discussion about SWBST, summarizing somebody wanted, but so then. So, we talked about all of the different pieces. So who or what it's about, what they want, and then the but part. Why can't they get there? So this is what they do, and in the end, this happens, right? And, we follow what they call Freytag's arc. Meaning, and this is what Freytag's arc looks like. So it starts with an exposition. And again, here's where we get introduced to the main characters, both the good and the bad. Here's where we learn to like people. Here's where we learn to dislike people. All right? Then we have what we call the rising action. And this typically comes in the form of a conflict. Right? So often this conflict could be man versus man, or men versus men, or women versus women. So, it might be a story about a woman who wants to climb the top of the corporate ladder, and a misogynistic jerk is in the way, and she can't quite get there. Okay? It could be certainly man versus nature. Any of those major movies that we see about, the ice or the world freezing over, or tornadoes coming, or a man stuck in the woods and he needs to survive and he's being chased by a pack of wolves and bears. Right? It might be a story about man versus himself. So it might be something about continually rising and getting knocked back down because of something that you do. Or it could be man versus society. The innocent man who is, being charged of being guilty, and he's trying to prove to the world, and only you, the viewer, and he knows the truth, and everyone else is out to get them. Now, typically this ends, or this comes to a climax, which is the major point, right? This is typically the part in the movie where the tornado comes, or the fist fight happens, or the major battle scene comes. And then comes the falling action with our resolution, all right? And often what the French call the démontage, right? So here is the resolution. So here is the typical act, all right? And most stories follow this major plot diagram. In fact, I encourage you to find one that does not, okay? Think about your favorite TV stories. Think about your favorite TV shows, your movies, etc., even your books, right? Now, what I want to do is continue on with yesterday. So yesterday, I asked you to do part 1, or step 1, all right? So I'm sure you guys can figure out mine. So a small boy was raised by his aunt and uncle after his parents died. He was unhappy until he went away to a special school for witches and wizards. Harry made a few great friends, but he always wanted to get to know more about his parents. But his evil nemesis, who was missing a nose, wanted Harry dead. So they spent 7 years fighting against each other. Then Harry finally won. Harry and the good side wins because love always trumps hate. He later married his best friend's sister, had kids, and lived happily ever after. Now that would be the setup for, obviously, Harry Potter and that whole series. Now, you could do it with one book or one movie, because they all follow that exact same pattern, right? Any popular film, whether it is Harry Potter, whether it is, the one where she's a tribute and goes and fights other people, any popular movie, popular lit, the Twilight series follows this exact same guideline, exact same story, okay? Now, with step 2, what I want you to do is I want you to just take what you put up here, and I want you to condense it down into a very short summary statement. And that's what you'll do for today, which is Tuesday, December 12th. Any questions? Please let me know. And again, you can use any movie that you want. I would continue on with the one that you gave me last week because it'll make it a little bit easier. All right, thanks. Bye.